Eddie Marion
Oh.
Crecco. Cool. My battery's going. All right.
What else is new, right?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday morning. My name is Sue Ann Penna, and I'm your host. I'm joined today with former Assemblywoman Marion Crecco and our guest host, Eddie Malavarca. How are you all
Good
doing
morning.
today? Thanks for being here.
You're
So,
welcome.
question number one, did you know what yesterday was? Anybody?
Yesterday?
National holiday.
Yesterday was, no,
Okay.
it's escaping me.
Yesterday was National Donut Day.
Oh.
And that's important for a reason, because Mayor Bloomberg wrote a proclamation letter in praise of National Donut Day.
Oh, he likes donuts?
Oh, my
He likes
goodness.
donuts.
Does he? I thought he was against all that stuff.
Yes, right after he proposed his new legislation to ban 16-ounce sodas.
Oh, okay, so he's banning 16-ounce sodas, or big gulps, rather.
Big gulps, yes.
But he's promoting donuts.
Absolutely.
Mm.
The
Well-
nanny state at its best. Now, don't you think New Yorkers are a little tough? Or wasn't it the reputation of a New Yorker as a tough person? We're not going to take this. Why is everybody just so willy-nilly
That's how they are.
kowtowing
mostly.
to it?
Mostly in New York, that's a very liberal city, particularly the city. And, but it's strange that the mayor is so concerned about the health of children. And yet again, they do nothing about what they're teaching them in the schools insofar as not, having sex and how to have all kinds of sex and whatnot. Now these kids are coming around with all kinds of diseases, and that particularly that human papilloma virus,
Right.
which and not just is very, very dangerous, but also.
So they'll
conducive
educate
to-
on that behavior.
But that's okay.
But they'll ban a
don't
soda.
don't drink a lot of sugar or eat a lot of
Man,
sugar.
aren't you being a little trivial? I mean, donuts and the big gulps are more important than what you're talking about.
Well, then the life and the health of our children, maybe I'm in another planet, but I personally care more about the family, children, parents, our civilization,
Right, and our right to choose.
and our right. Now, they have a right to choose whether they want to abort babies, unborn babies, but you don't have a right to choose whether you can smoke at certain places or whether you can eat certain foods or whether you're overweight. All this is like personal responsibility.
Exactly.
Well,
Plus the right, our freedoms. Our freedoms are being.
Well, we've kind of swerved into multiple facets of things that came through this week. One of the issues you're speaking about is how people have rights to, they can do all of these things regarding abortion, but as far as eating a donut or having a big gulp, you get governments. Their views are basically contradictory. They're coming to this place where they're kind of colliding, and all of these things came to fruition this week, as far as the abortion issue and also
Right.
the government coming down and basically saying, and I'm referring to Bloomberg as the government right now. One of the scary comments he made about the big gulp, one of the most alarming things,
Yes.
was when he was questioned about it. He said, this is a quote, "The idea here is you tend to eat all the food in the container in front of you. If it's bigger container, you eat more. If somebody put it in a smaller glass or plate or bowl in front of you, you'd eat less. We're not taking anybody's right to do things away. We're simply forcing you to understand that
And-
you have to make a conscious decision to go from one cup to another cup."
That is amazing.
Forcing.
I mean, when you think about the nanny state and you think about the fat tax, really what they're trying to propose is a fat tax. So it starts with soda and trying to make taxes higher on things that they deem unhealthy. I mean, there was a school in Utah that just got fined $15,000 for serving soda during lunch. Now, they can serve ice cream, they can serve Snickers, they can serve Milky Ways. But you have to buy the soda before you go into the lunchroom, and you're not allowed to buy Skittles, Starburst, licorice, and things like that. I mean, this is This is like a soft tyranny. This is this is the
you're
very
right.
beginning stages of fascism by controlling what we eat.
Well, it's worse than that. I mean, the priorities are kind of mixed up.
Mhm.
They do not care about our civilization, what's most important for us. They're going into things that are not even relative to
Exactly.
the founding of this country, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They don't care about that. All they care, because these are progressives. This is another way of taking control. This is another way of
Absolutely.
taking some rights away. I mean, it's the same as the gun rights and all the other rules they have. They have so many regulations. It's just unbelievable. And through these regulations, they're going to take control of
Well,
people.
that's exactly what the regulations are for. It's just a matter of controlling us and making sure that we
Yeah.
do as they say. Go ahead.
And also, their taxes. All these regulations are taxes. Practically every regulation they have, there's a fee.
Absolutely.
So we're being taxed and taxed and taxed, and people are not aware. And they're regulating some of the most ridiculous things, such as even with the environment. I mean, if you
Exactly.
have a little puddle in your driveway, you can be fined.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
You
well,
can actually be fined because you have that puddle. And it's your driveway, and it's a small puddle.
exactly. I mean,
And they
property
just
rights,
get
gun
away with
rights.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's done through force and coercion. So even with Obamacare, if you don't sign on for insurance, I mean, what they've done to the Catholic Church, I mean, the fine is $100 a day per employee.
Right.
I mean, so the goal really is, through this force and coercion, to force it out of the system, to force you out of
Right,
it.
right. And it's not just the Catholic Church. It's any
religious
institution
organization.
at all who has these values where they don't want to kill these unborn babies. This is their belief. This is their tradition. It's not even anything to do with religion, really.
Right.
It has to do
It's
with
right or wrong.
Yeah, it has to do with their strong beliefs. But with the Catholic Church and any other Christian church, these are their values. This is in their Bible, whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament. It specifically speaks about that.
So
all
pretty
the
much the
issues.
president is saying that
So
the
he's forcing them to
government
go against
comes first.
their deepest beliefs. How dare he? But this is another step, as far as I'm concerned, toward totalitarianism.
Absolutely. So
It
when you
really
can
is.
control
It's dangerous.
the population, control what people eat, force them through, force and coercion, through massive fines, we will end up being robots wearing, gray suits.
It's not. I would say it's just the the start of what's to come, but it's really not. This has been going on for like 40 years at least.
Oh, sure. They
if
know
you
it's a slow
see what's
process.
going on in our public school system.
Well, Bloomberg is the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst offenders of what we're talking about. And it's not
Really?
the first time I've mentioned his name. To me, he's a case study in progressivism. He's
Yeah,
out of
you're
control.
right.
The guy is a billionaire. Let's take that off the table. I don't have anything against people who make money. It's not
No,
about that. But
never
something in
either.
this
I'm
man,
happy about that.
something in this man has decided that he's got the right to say these things to people, whether it be salt, whether it be his little Nazi gratings on the restaurants. And that's the way I'm going to refer to them, because that's what they are. It's going down the road of putting a grading system on all the rest. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yes.
It's A, B, C, and he goes down the line. And these comments that I made before, or the quotes that I read, this is after he was questioned about it, okay? And he also goes on to say, it's not perfect. It's not the only answer. It's not the only cause of people being overweight, but we've got to do something. We have an obligation to warn you when things are not good for your health. We would just like to force the consumer to hopefully move over to a less fattening drink, and everybody would be better off,
Well,
according to him.
yeah.
Exactly.
What about,
But
where does he get this from?
except-
there's
that-
overweight people that don't have high cholesterol.
Right.
There's overweight people that don't have an issue with salt.
True.
I'm a salt fanatic.
Oh,
I put salt on everything. I don't have high blood pressure.
right.
So I don't need him to tell me that. that now I have to eat bland food.
Well, the smoking ban too, right? And
Right.
He's
Yeah.
been a big proponent of the smoking
But if
ban.
he's concerned about their health, if this were true, obviously he's catering to the very left progressive group.
Mhm.
Right.
Because this is their plan.
Right.
I don't know if you remember, but I always remember when Khrushchev came into our country and he said, I never forgot it, well, we will destroy you from within, and this is part of that plan.
Absolutely.
But if he's so concerned about our health, why are the kids going to school and getting Ritalin without parental consent?
Mhm.
Why are the kids going and having abortion without parental consent?
Right.
Why are they having tattoos without parental? All these are very bad for your health.
Mhm.
And they're teaching them very, very bad.
and they take the
behavior
responsibility
that
away
is-
from the parent as well.
Well, they've taken the parents out of the picture altogether,
Well, they
which
have-
is wrong.
Right,
Absolutely.
And teaching in New York schools, and they're teaching mandatory Arabic now in
Wow.
the public school system.
Oh, yes.
In New
Now,
York,
do the
Mhm.
parents have a right to say no to that? We're at a point where in some places we're allowed to say certain things, but obviously the window's getting smaller and smaller. This man is now, the smoking ban, you can't smoke in or out of a bar.
And a bar doesn't even have the choice
Doesn't
to
have the
say, or
choice.
me as the patron doesn't have the choice to say, well, if I'm having a drink, I like to have a cigarette, and now I have to go outside. But why weren't the restaurants given choices? You know what? If you want to have a smoke-free and market it that way and
That's
grab
fine.
onto the people that want that,
right.
encourage, but why is everything legislated? And if he was so concerned about the weight, there's ways to encourage. Maybe you want to give a tax incentive. Maybe you want to get, the rest of your Hollywood friends over there to start an exercise program and going into the schools. But it's the legislation and the regulation part of it that makes it so dangerous.
Well, they've taken physical education out of
Exactly,
the
that's not
schools.
deemed important, so.
That in itself is good for the youngsters.
Exactly, but let's hold on to that thought. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Are we off the air?
Yeah.
That's political. He's trying to cater to the progressives because he wants to run for governor.
Oh. Thank you for listening to Common Sense, a production of Citizens for Limited Government, a nonprofit 501c3 educational organization, as we bring you the limited government free market solutions to today's problems. Common Sense is a listener-supported radio program that depends upon your donations to continue sharing our common message. With your support and partnership, we can continue to make an impact. You can make a difference by supporting our effort to bring this message to the airways so we can reach even more people. If you like what you're hearing today and would like to support our program, please contact me at sueann.penna@yahoo.com to learn about our donation options. All donations are tax deductible as allowed by law and are used to support the radio program. Your contribution on a monthly or one-time basis is greatly appreciated, and every gift is important. You can continue to join the conversation by joining us on Facebook at facebook.com/limitedgov2011. Thank you for joining us today, and we will be right back. Do you want to, we can continue in on this conversation about with the children. Are you good with that?
Sure.
Or we can talk about really I guess we can
There's so
segue
much.
into the
Yes.
abortion thing too, of
Okay.
what Congress just voted on, gender-based abortion.
Well, that's going a little too far, of course. But abortion in itself it is legal. We know that. But some of my legislation, when I
We're not on yet, we're not
Oh,
on yet. I
okay.
just want to see
Yeah.
if you're good with going there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us,
Are we on? Tell me. I want to answer a quick question.
tell us when we're on. Hear the music. You want to ask me a question?
It's in abeyance, that bill.
It's in what?
Abeyance. That bill hasn't gone anywhere yet.
Oh, okay.
I think they held it.
The point is they're floating it.
Mm-hmm.
The point is it's out there for now. They want us to get,
Used to the idea.
just like the donut idea. We're getting